Hey everyone, Psychopath1 here. Um, I'm here to review Psycho. I was thinking, well, it's been a while since I've really done a classic movie. And I hate that my light is so dark. But anyways, Psycho is one of those movies that if you grew up on it, you have like a fondness for it and everything, and I grew up on it. Trying to, even with the light, you can't really see it, but the film pretty much, I don't know how true this is, but it was one of the first real movies involving stabbing, like actually people being harmed in the scenes and stuff like that, even though by today's standards it's nothing, but this particular version comes with two versions of the movie, well, particular Blu-ray. It's the 60th anniversary edition, and it says includes two versions: Psycho Uncut. The extended version of the movie as seen in theaters in 1960 is exactly as intended by Alfred Hitchcock and now available with additional footage for the first time ever. Okay, the thing with the uncut version is it's only like, I want to say 3 minutes longer. They added, we'll get to it when we talk more about the film, but the other version is Psycho, the most widely seen version of the movie, was edited for content and subsequently used for TV broadcasts, theatrical re-releases, and home entertainment over the last 60 years. And it comes with a buttload of special features. So, yeah, I first saw Psycho back when I was, I'd say 10 years old, which is by kid age, that's kind of late to finally see Psycho. I think that anybody can really see Psycho, even though this says rated R. By today's standards, this would be a PG-13, at most PG-13. But again, it's the 60s, so 1960 exactly, to be exact. It's about this woman. Her name is Marion Crane, played by the wonderful Janet Leigh. Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. So, the mother of a scream queen. If you could see the cover, you could see that she's on here. Dang it. So, anyways, she works at a banking loan place, and she ends up hearing about money. And at first she's like, you know what, I'm not gonna take it. And the person tells her, like, hey, the owner of the money says, hey, put this in take this to this destination, this particular bank, and deposit it. And she keeps on thinking it over, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna take the money. And so you get this sequence where you think, oh, is she gonna get caught by the cops or not? And so she's riding around, and she keeps on thinking she's being followed, and then she stops on the gas, and, well, gets her foot off the gas and on the brake because she almost hit somebody. And it turns out the person she almost hit was the man who gave her the bag of money. Well, envelope of money. I keep on saying bag money. And it's $40,000, by the way. And so she decides, you know what, this car, everybody's gonna notice it if I go somewhere. She ends up selling her car and gets a new vehicle from a car dealership, and then she gets followed by a cop, and she feels like, oh my gosh, I'm going to jail. But no, he just was, if I remember correctly, he just was saying like, oh, you have a tail light out. And so anyways, she ends up driving down the road. It turns to nighttime, so it starts to rain, and she's like, oh man, I gotta get a place to sleep for the night. And so she ends up seeing this big sign. It says Bates Motel, and she's like, okay, I'll sleep there. And she knocks on the window and meets our lovable boy Norman. Norman Bates, played by the fantastic Anthony Perkins, God rest his soul. This is probably my favorite movie he did. I didn't know really too much about the movies he did other than the Psycho movies, and that's about it. But anyways, he did a phenomenal job as Norman Bates. And so he's kind of timid and just wondering, he's like all nervous, he's all shaking, like he doesn't really know what to do because it's a woman. And we end up learning about Norman's mother. She does not like women, and she doesn't think anybody's good enough for her boy. So anyways, she I keep on saying she. Janet Leigh's character Marion Crane ends up talking with Norman about putting mother in a retirement home. And here's where you get a first glimpse of what kind of person Norman is. As soon as she says nursing home, he just stands up real stern and is like, I can't put her in a place like that. Them flicking their tongues at her, just smiling and judging. They hide, and then he ends up saying the famous line, a boy's best friend is his mother. And so Marion Crane goes to sleep for the night, and then all of a sudden, before she goes to sleep, she ends up ripping apart a paper that shows how much money she has left, and then she flushes the toilet. And this is apparently the first time a toilet was ever shown flushing on a movie screen. So that's kind of an interesting fact. So Norman has like a little peephole. He looks through it and he looks at Janet Leigh showering. And he's not sexually attracted or anything. It's just like, there's a part of him that's sexually attracted to her, but then there's another part that's like saying, no, don't do this. And so he looks at her, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I've got to stop. And then so we get to meet Mother. Mother ends up coming into the shower and pulls back the shower curtain, and then all of a sudden you just see Mother's arm come down and just stab poor Marion Crane. And then we get what is the rest of the movie. It's like it's like a little hunt. Like, Marion Crane's sister is looking for her, and the actress's name is Vera Miles. And she's looking for her sister because she hasn't called. She hasn't like wrote a letter or anything. So she ends up getting a hold of Sam, Marion Crane's boyfriend. If you know your horror history, John Carpenter actually got the name Sam Loomis from this movie. When he made Halloween, he was like, how can I make a nod to Hitchcock? So he named the doctor Sam Loomis. So anyways, they end up going on a little bug hunt, a little scavenger hunt, looking for Marion Crane. And they end up finding out, before that, this shows how defensive Norman is for his mother. He cleans up after his mother's mess, and ends up taking Marion's car and shoving it right into a lake, so it can't be seen. And he's just nervous. He's like, oh my gosh, mother's gonna get caught, mother's gonna get caught. But then we cut to the next scenes with Sam Loomis and Marion Crane's sister. So anyways, back on topic, they end up finding the Bates Motel and asking Norman, hey, have you seen this woman? Oh, and they also get a hold of a detective named Arbogast. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And then Arbogast ends up being our second kill of the movie. And this is where the extended stuff comes in. It's only like a quick second, but you get to see two rises of the hand with the knife go down instead of just one. You see the hand go up, and then you see the hand go up again, and then it cuts to the next scene. And the shower scene is a bit different too. Like the hole is a little bit bigger that Norman ends up looking into. They explain the differences in the special features, so if you're curious on more details about the differences, check out the special features. Oh, it even comes with little trailers of the movie, which I wouldn't think that a movie this old would get the trailers from back in the day onto a Blu-ray, and they look phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, the picture quality on this thing is amazing. If I had a 4K TV, I'd love to get the 4K version of this. But anyways, so they end up finding, sorry, I had to scratch my nostril. They end up finding the Bates Motel, and they ask Norman, have you seen my mother? I mean, have you seen my sister, Marion Crane? And he says, no, I haven't seen anybody. You're the first ones who have been here. And then Arbogast ends up coming by a little bit later to see, like, hey, is there anybody else here with you? And Norman ends up getting caught in a lie. He says, nope, it's just me. And then he's like, Arbogast asks, well, Norman, there has to be somebody else here, nobody else around has heard anything? And then he inadvertently says, nope, it's only me. My mother doesn't hear anything. And then that's how he gets caught in the lie. And so Arbogast goes up to the Bates household to meet Mother. And that's when Mother ends up killing him, and we get the two rising stabs. So that's kind of cool. The acting in this movie absolutely awesome for the time. The acting actually still holds up. And then we get, I'm going to skip over some things. We get the phenomenal ending, which, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen the movie, it's a 60-year-old movie, so you've been warned. We end up seeing Marion Crane's sister go down the basement and ends up seeing Mrs. Bates. And all of a sudden, it's a corpse. And then all of a sudden, Mrs. Bates appears behind, and boom, ends up being Norman dressed in a wig and a dress, pretending to be Mrs. Bates. So, Norman's been killing people the entire time. So, yeah, the film, even though I spoiled the ending, you should still check this out. Like, it is an amazing movie. Well worth the $15 I paid for it. And I'm pretty sure this wasn't a low budget film at the time. I'm sure it was made for a really large amount of money back in the day. By today's standards, it would, with inflation, it would probably be more. But again, check out Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock Psycho, not Psycho 1998. I forget when that remake came out, but do not check out the remake. Just go for the original. I've only seen one of the sequels, Psycho 2, and it's good. It's cool. Like, they added gore into it. But I enjoyed the original one more. But anyways, what do I give Psycho? It might be nostalgia talking, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. This film is just fantastic. The quality of the Blu-ray is fantastic. It came with the digital codes. I already used it for Voodoo. But anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with another review. Psychopath1 signing out.